Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of Midnight Double Feature, where we are resetting the main feed. A brand new main feed drop.
Hell yeah!
How exciting is this, Colin? How you doing, man?
I'm good. Yeah, this is fun. We haven't visited this page in a while, or this feed. So it's nice to be back, and it's nice to be recording some new stuff, even if it's under a little sad circumstances. But like I'm happy to be back. Let's put it this way: the death of Sam Neill revitalized the main feed. Let's just put it that way. Like,
and I mean, like, isn't that poetic? Because Jurassic Park kicked off our main feed.
Like, it did. You know? Holy shit! I forgot about that. I forgot we were. Yeah, that's our very first episode.
Well, that was 2018. That was 7 years ago. Which is wild, and we've gone around in so many sort of like up and downs and roller coasters and so many adventures, and you know, here we are back to the main feed where it all started. Mm-hmm. So, I'm going to just sort of like reintroduce ourselves if you guys are just sort of like tuning in here for the first time. I'm Zoheb, that's Colin. Mm-hmm. We're Midnight Double Feature. We're going through Event Horizon today. You might have checked out some earlier episodes where we go through some of our favorite movies, some lesser known movies. And yeah, we just kind of like go through it and talk about the movies. Like sometimes we happen upon some deep and meaningful analytical stuff.
Some little chestnuts.
Sometimes we talk about penis jokes and all that stuff. So, I mean, like, you know, that's more the majority.
Yeah, that's most of the cream in this cup of coffee. Yeah,
exactly right. Exactly. It's all gallows humor here and dirty shit. So we also have a Patreon as well if you are so inclined to support us. We're an independent podcast. We have no ads. It's Midnight Double Feature. Sorry, it's patreon.com/Midnight Double Feature. For $5 a month, you get a whole host of bonus episodes. There's over 100 on there. And it's just us, again, just talking shit because that's all we kind of do. Yeah, man, like we're doing well. I'm proud of where we are with this podcast. I'm proud of where we are with our social media. You know, if you want to support us on Facebook as well, you can join our group. It's called the After Party. We're also on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok as well. And yeah, you can find us pretty much just by Googling us. You know, you can find these podcasts wherever you get your podcast needs met. Mm-hmm. That's where we are. Spotify, Apple Music, Apple iTunes. My bad.
Discord.
And yeah, man. Like, yeah, Discord. Yes, we have our Discord group. Our Discord channel, right? That's what the kids call them.
That's
right?
I think that's what the hip cats are calling them these days. Yeah,
the channels. Yeah, we got like general space for general chit chat, all things gaming. You know, you can post your pets. We got updates for podcasts and movies we're watching. So yeah, man, like that's a good space as well. And that's sick. Do you have anything else to say before we kind of like jump in?
No, just as always, thank you guys for listening. We appreciate any and all support, and if you want to come join our Discord, come be a big part of the show, we love to have you guys. We do these live in our Discord. We post you can always come in here and catch them live or catch them later on the feed. We've got a lot of fun stuff in there, so come check it out. And if not, well, we appreciate you just listening to this episode.
Definitely, absolutely. All right, let's dive into this. Right, so. I don't really have an agenda for this episode, but I do want to kick it off with talking about Sam Neill, or just kind of like eulogizing him a little bit, because I think, as you said, this is the reason that we picked this movie. You know, I was just like, I think it's time to talk about Event Horizon. You know, this is just one of those movies that has kind of like garnered this cult following, even though it's not commercially or critically successful. It is a movie that you hear about all the time, and people are always like, "Oh, dude, have you seen Event Horizon?" Blah blah. So I was like, man, like, you know, given the passing of the great man Sam, you know, we should probably talk about this. You know, I think Sam Neill for me was a pretty massive figure in my life. Probably for me, like Jurassic Park. I'd imagine for you, it's also Jurassic Park and In the Mouth of Madness.
Not so much Jurassic Park, but in the Mouth of Madness for sure. Yeah, that was probably,
yeah.
I watched that at such a young age that like I might have caught him from start to finish in Mouth of Madness before Jurassic Park.
Oh wow.
So I think but that is a perfect microcosm of our household growing up watching shit like that, you know. So it's just he's. Have you seen his test footage for when he was almost Bond?
Oh, dude, where he was about to replace Roger Moore, or he was in the running for Roger Moore's role.
I see it, man. I see it.
I see it too.
That's crazy.
I see it too, and I see it a lot by some of his line ratings in this movie. Like, he's not. He doesn't have like the get up, like the costume for Bond or anything like that. But in some of the line readings in this movie, man, I'm like, dude, I can hear you as Bond.
Yeah, or at least a Bond villain. Yeah, he would be great. He's got such a unique eye.
Of course, we Australians claim him as an Australian, but he's obviously not Australian. He was born in Ireland. He had 3 citizenships. His family moved to New Zealand, and then like later he moved to Australia. And he is a massive part of the Australian film culture. I mean, like he graduated from film school here. I think it's from AFTRS, which is the Australian Film and Tech Radio something school.
Something or other.
Yeah, something like that. But it's basically like our main sort of like film school where like a lot of like big actors have passed through, and he's a massive proponent of Australian film. And this one kind of cut deep, man, because like Jurassic Park, as we've said on that first episode, that was a massive movie. It still is a massive movie for me, and it's probably hundreds of thousands of people across the world, if not millions. He is the face of Jurassic Park.
For sure.
You can say it's probably Hammond or Malcolm or Statler, but I don't know, man. The first image that comes like that pops into my head is when he witnesses the Brachiosaurus, the Brachiosaurs, or Brontosauri. And he kind of like stands up from the Jeep and he's kind of taking his glasses off, and it's that first scene of just movie magic. And when people say movie magic, that's the scene that I think of, and that movie doesn't work anywhere near as well without Dr. Alan Grant. So
right,
yeah, man, he was so good. I've just by chance as well, I went back and like I watched this movie that he was also kind of known for, and it was banned here in Australia for a long time. It's called Possession.
Oh yeah, the 80s flick. Yeah, I haven't seen it, but yeah,
it's fucked up.
I've heard that.
Fucked up movie. It's very fucked up. It's full of like, it's kind of like an allegory for like domestic violence and stuff. But it is profoundly messed up, and he is really good in it. Like, like it's so haunting. It's a haunting performance, but he's fantastic in it. And one more thing, like when it was so funny because on Monday night, Steph and I were driving to the IMAX, which is in the city, and we were like 20 minutes out, and we were on the freeway, the highway, and Steph like looks at her phone and she's like, "Oh, Sam Neill died," and I was like, "What?" I was like blown away.
The whole country shuts down. Yeah,
she's like, "Yeah, he just died at like St. Vincent's Hospital," and I'm like, "Holy shit, dude! We're about to be like 5 minutes from there. That's the insane. IMAX is like 5 minutes away from St. Vincent's Hospital in the city. So it's crazy that like we never go out to the city anymore, and like it just so happened that like the fucking icon passes away.
Yeah, it sounds like you killed Sam Neill.
I think I did. And I should just never visit the city anymore. Forgive me, I'm a bit under the weather. So yeah, man. All right, let's talk about Event Horizon.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Let's dive into this. So, like I said, not commercially or critically successful.
Right.
Actually really bad. Like a big flop financially. and it only has 36% on Rotten Tomatoes, but it is this movie that you hear about from time to time, and people always post like pretty iconic imagery from it. Like mostly that shot of like Sam Neill with his eyes sort of like gouged out when he's sitting on the
Oh
bridge.
yeah.
And I remember seeing those shots forever before I sat down and watched this movie. Like I didn't I only first watched this movie maybe about 4 years ago.
Mhm.
Like it's not a movie that like I kind of like I watched growing up or anything like that.
Me neither.
It's something that I found after the fact. It might have been after I listened to LSG talk about it, or I think it was in their feed. And I was like,
Mhm.
oh, that sounds cool. Like, and maybe I saw someone post on Facebook about it or post like a famous photo about it. And I was like, damn, like look at some of the imagery from this movie. Even like that, like the shot of like Sam Neill as he's kind of like his face is all cut up at the end there, and it's just like, holy shit, dude! Like, what is this movie about?
Yeah, where he went all Bird Box and just cut his eyes out.
Right.
No,
Dude,
yeah, absolutely.
I'm gonna tell you right now, I have no recollection of that Bird Box movie whatsoever.
Dude, I have barely any of it. Even though I think we covered that like 5-6 years ago.
Yeah, we did. What a fucking waste of a pick.
It wasn't a terrible movie, but it definitely was like, okay, like this is, I won't remember this. I remember it was a big deal because Sandra Bullock did a Netflix movie. That was like the big deal at the time.
Was that during the pandemic?
If not, it was like probably right before or right after it. I think maybe right before it, maybe.
I feel like that movie like ceased to exist.
Yeah, well, with Event Horizon, like you said, I knew a lot of the iconic imagery from it before I ever actually saw the movie. I've never seen this before until like 12 hours ago.
Oh right.
So and it's something where I'm like, oh, this sounds like something that would be right up my alley because I love the kind of stranded feeling, but then stranded in space, and then it's it's a mix of
derelict spacecraft.
Yes, and the mix of Eldritch God stuff and aliens and stuff like that. I think it has a perfect feeling. If I would describe this thing as like Alien meets Hellraiser. Like that's the best way I could probably describe it. And those are, I mean, if you're going to be compared to two movies, you can't go wrong with Alien and Helldiver. Some really good
Hellraiser, not Helldivers. That's a different thing.
Did I say Helldivers?
Yeah.
Bro, I've been playing.
You're fucking locked in.
My eyes are so bloodshot from playing. Like, dude, real quick, an aside. Lindsay said I woke up the other night and I sat up in bed and my eyes were still closed and I had my hands up. And she was like, "What are you doing?" I was like, "I'm dropping in." And she was like, "You're in the bed." And I was like, "Oh, okay." And laid back down.
Is this a real story?
I 100% woke up at like 2 a.m. and thought I was hell diving in. And I was like, calling in an eagle. Like,
holy shit. That is fucking.
I played so much Helldivers. Yeah. I was like, I was like Sam Neill at the end of this, or like in Bird Box, and he's like peeling that lady's eyes open. Like, that's what I'm going to do to you if you start playing Helldivers.
It's not happening.
I'm bringing it back. Be like, that's the movie.
It's never gonna happen. It's never gonna happen.
That's the movie. Some guy is willing to die. The hill he's dying on is like, bro, I'm telling you, Bird Box in about 20 to 30 years. No, it's not happening.
You know what? Fuck the Odyssey. I'm gonna ride for for fucking Bird Box. Helldivers. God damn
it. But no, I think this. This movie's good. It is the textbook definition of like a cult status kind of film. Yeah. It lost about 15 to 20 million at the box office. And yeah, didn't have great reviews, but some of the ones I saw were it's one of those things where I think either you really like it or you really don't. And there is a little bit of in between there. Like, it's not a perfect movie, but it's totally enjoyable. I enjoyed this a lot. I thought it was great. And for us, I think this is like the third Sam Neill movie we've covered. I think. Yeah. And this, and I don't know if you're a fan of these games as well, but like Dead Space, the Callisto Protocol, absolutely. You can tell where they got a lot of the feeling, from Alien and Event Horizon and like Hellraiser and stuff. And I don't know if you've played I mean, the original Dead Space is, great, but the remake
Incredible.
is fantastic. The remake was incredibly good. Very well done. But no, I super enjoyed this. I like the kind of bleak hopelessness, like in the feeling of it. And it was it's a great movie to reignite the feed with. And R.I.P. Sam Neill.
R.I.P. Sam Neill. 96 minutes? Brisk.
Too short.
Brisk. I thought too short as well. However, I thought that this movie, and I think you hit the nail on the head, this movie is basically the first 30 minutes of Alien, which is consequently some of my favorite stuff from Alien. Where,
Sure.
like, they get the bacon and then the
cocky space crew and,
Right, exactly. And then it's just like, I love the unanswered question before we get to the answer. You know what I mean? Like, I love like when they arrive at the ship and there's signs that something has gone horrifically wrong.
Right.
And all that. I guess I love being like titillated like that. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I love being like, I don't know. And it's not to say that the answer is like disappointing, because I think the answer is quite good. Like, like what it ends up being is like, it's like it's still intriguing, but like what makes me do the meme from, that guy who's like sitting in the chair, sitting back, and then like he like locks in when he like leans forward.
Mm-hmm.
All of that is like the first sort of like half hour of Alien to me, and like the first like 20 minutes of this movie, where it's just like, oh shit, like we are ramping things up and we're asking questions of the cast, of the crew, of the Lewis and Clark, and there's just so many like things that it could potentially be. So yeah, I was pretty locked in during this movie. I was really impressed with the practical effects.
Same.
I think like this, the focus on practical effects in this movie is really helps with its staying power. It's a movie that came out in 1997, and I think the reason why a lot of people like really ride for this movie is because of like the makeup work and like the practical effects, and because like the CG in this, when they do have to use it, is not good. Like it is.
Yeah, 50. I found a couple of spots where I was like, okay, you keep it in the dark, it doesn't look absolutely terrible. But yeah, there's one of those where I think when Lawrence Fishburne is on fire and they put his face digitally over the stuntman, and he's like falling with like a very flat expression. I'm like, oh god, that almost looks like a bad deep fake.
Right.
But no, I know what you mean.
Yeah, it is one of those things of like, but like the gravity drive being this massive sort of like practical thing that they created, it was just like, holy shit, you can like feel the weight of it as it's rotating, it's good stuff.
No, I agree. Well, one thing I wanted to bring up is the fact that before we moved away from Sam Neill, did you hear the thing about the flag that he has?
Yes.
That he, I guess it was the Union Jack, and he replaced that with like the Aboriginal flag because he thought by this time, like, surely they'll have replaced that or fixed it. And I was like, that's pretty cool though.
I did read another piece of trivia where I think Paul Anderson, we'll talk about Paul Anderson in a second, they kind of wanted to have like different insignias on them to represent things that would happen in the future. So like, I think some of the other cast or some of the other crew members have like modified flags as well. Sure. I need to go back in and like check, but that is the big one that I saw with Sam Neill was like, yeah, he really rode for the average. What a fucking gangster!
What a champ! Yeah,
what an absolute fucking gangster. Don't call him champ, by the way. Champ is a that's a derogatory term here.
Well, Australia. He can. What's he gonna do about it now?
Holy shit, dude! You got to hell for that. You got to hell in this movie. You're going to the Event Horizon.
Yeah, I'm in there. I'm just like, hey, what's that Family Guy where he's like, hey, can you get the slave beater's grandmother and tell him to come down here and hit me? With they're not doing shit to him.
I think this movie also kind of, and I don't know if it's to its credit or to its detriment, follows the alien thing. And like I did read about, again, we'll get to Paul Anderson in a second, but I don't know if it's to its credit or to its detriment that this follows the alien thing of like, this is humanity's hubris. And that's going to be the downfall of us all. Is like that's the main sort of like underlying theme. Is like we try to create this gravity drive to travel faster and get to the stars quicker and make more discoveries and maybe conquer. I don't know. They don't really talk about conquering or anything like that, but just really like traveling to the stars. But you know, humanity being humanity, it's going to try and conquer. And that eventually is the downfall of everyone. You know, like Alien has the same thing of like, okay, greed and wanting to, right. And that's going to be the downfall.
Weyland-Yutani is like one of the most evil, besides maybe like the Umbrella Corporation. They're like one of the worst companies in like all of fiction, where they just keep like, how many times does it have to happen before like some dude's like, you know what? We've lost about $900 trillion on this whole xenomorph thing. They keep blowing up our ships and killing people, and we're having to pay out of like settlements and stuff.
Well, I mean, they lose $900 trillion, but I mean, if they bring in one xenomorph home, how much money is that going to make? You know?
Yeah, right. Hey, that's just big business. You know, that's good business. Good business is where you find it.
Exactly. Acceptable losses.
Yeah,
that's what that is.
No, I think that the well, and there's something also talking about Alien. Like, there's a very I mean, obviously, it wears that reference very much so, like on its sleeve. I don't think you can do a horror movie set in space anymore and it not feel like Alien. You know, like Alien, I don't know if it was the first, but it's the first one everybody remembers. So like even stuff like as stupid as like Jason X and stuff like that, it's like you've got the feeling of being trapped that works like so well on so many levels that Alien being in space is the equivalent of like Friday the 13th being the lake, you know, cabin killer thing. Like that it might not be the first one that did it, but that's the one that popularized it, and it will always be known for that. But I think what's interesting about this movie is that, like, yeah, on the surface it kind of feels like Alien, but it's so much like dirtier and like dystopian and absolutely like they're gonna take me to this other dimension where they're gonna turn my asshole inside out and use it as like a flashlight and like
nihilistic, right? Like like everything is just fucking Christ.
Gonna turn me into a sausage casing. No, it's so much. It's like evil and horror and malice and wrath, like more than you can comprehend. You know, and I love the fact that it doesn't really show it. It kind of gives you like flashes and like hints of it, but it doesn't really like just blow its whole load and show you what this hellscape looks like.
Paul Anderson comes onto this movie and he's immediately like, "Oh, the script is way too much like Alien," and he was like, "I don't want to do Alien." So he assists in a rewrite, and he's just like, because he's hot off the press of like Mortal Kombat, and like apparently after Mortal Kombat and how successful that was, everyone wanted him. Like that movie was like a massive like commercial success, and then like he's like, you know, apparently he was in the talks for like X-Men as well. They obviously, they wanted him to come back for Mortal Kombat Annihilation, which ended up being a massive disaster. But
oh my god,
he wanted to make a full-on like R-rated horror film, which was obviously what this turned out to be. But yeah, like Paul, sorry, my bad. Paul Anderson. Now looking back at him, at his resume, not a good director.
No.
Not to be confused with Paul Thomas Anderson.
Yeah.
Who is a great director, who just won, you know, Best Director, and his movie just won Best Picture.
Yeah, you know, the guy that did Horizon and Boogie Nights. Event Horizon and Boogie Nights. Yeah.
Right. But I will say, I think I've probably seen more Paul W.S. Anderson movies than I have seen Paul Thomas Anderson movies.
I think that's true. I think that's
You
true
know?
for me as well. I've got so many of his movies in the stack. It's ridiculous. I need to watch more of that. I really want to see Boogie Nights. I just never got around to it.
Boogie Nights is incredible. But I will say about Paul W.S. Anderson. So I've seen Event Horizon. I've seen Resident Evil. I've seen Alien vs.
Same.
Predator. I've seen Death Race. I've seen The Three Musketeers. Unfortunately, I've seen Pompeii. And that's all I've seen. I haven't seen Soldier, which is the big Kurt Russell movie that he did after this, after Event Horizon. I don't mind his Alien vs. Predator movie, by the way. Like, I don't think
it's been so long. I couldn't tell you.
Yeah. It's not terrible. I actually think it's a lot of fun. I think his best movie is Death Race. I think that movie is a lot of fun. Like, that movie is like fucking ridiculous, but not.
He's
not
a fucking
terrible.
ridiculous director. Like, I mean,
He is.
Just being honest. Like,
but
and
he won. He's fucking married to Mila Jovovich, dude.
Yeah. I was just about to say it's like, whew, and I'm sure he probably whisked her away from Luc Besson. He's like, what the fuck, my fan.
It's okay. I'll take a 12-year-old Natalie Portman.
I dumped a 14-year-old for her.
But like, he kept fucking Mila Jovovich working, right? Like, she was all in all those Resident Evil movies that he directed as well. So
absolutely. And to his credit, this feels like a movie that had studio interference like a motherfucker. Like, this definitely feels like a movie where they were like, yeah, we need you to take 20 to 30 minutes out,
Okay,
and
pause right there. So he delivered a 130-minute cut of this movie.
There you
go. And
the
studio was like, no, absolutely not. So he was forced to cut quite a bit.
I mean, were like it just too long, or what was it? Just too bloody, or something?
I think it was just they didn't really specify what the reasoning is, but like Anderson after that was like, oh, okay, I think I'm actually keen on putting together a director's cut for like the home release.
Mm-hmm.
But apparently most of the footage that they had like edited out hadn't been stored properly, and like it'd gone like missing. Like, it just actually
that
like
sucks.
gone missing.
That sucks,
the director's cut was abandoned, and instead a special edition 2 DVD set was released featuring 1 deleted scene, 2 extended scenes, and a few shots of deleted material in the included making of featurette. So there you go.
Damn. Yeah, this definitely seems like a movie that would have benefited from like I would totally watch a 2 hour and 10 minute cut of this. Especially like when it is pretty decently scary in some parts. Like when she's pulling the disc out when they first get there and you just see the person in the background moving, I was like, fuck me. Like, that's because something there, but you just can't, it's so blurry and out of space. But this definitely feels like a movie that had, somebody come in and say, take a half hour out of it, and we're going to leave some very vital stuff that, because I do like the movie. I think it's good. I think it's scary. It's got good performances, but the biggest thing I think is the pacing of this movie, and then parts of like the editing. I'm just like this is edited very some spots. It's I'd say 90% of it is amazing, but when it's bad, it's bad. Like, it sticks out in some of the edits, especially when they're doing like that kind of action scenes and stuff. It can get a little, I was like, okay, whew, like even I'm a little overstimulated right now. But the pacing of it, I think, is just kind of like, not that it's all over the place, but I don't know. I didn't find myself checking my watch, but I feel like when you hit a stretch of character stuff, it's like a pretty good stretch of like character stuff, and I would have been fine with that if they could just, I don't know. I feel like it's just a little unbalanced. You know what I mean?
I agree. I think I would have liked a lot more. This movie like goes for like swings for the fences. And I don't think it like totally hits the fences. I think it like stops just short of being like totally exactly what it wants to be. I think the 130-minute cut would have been like, let's just fucking go for it and deliver the
Sure.
most absolutely savage thing we can absolutely do. So I'm just gonna read you like a couple of like what the cut things were. So apparently more of a backstory for Cooper and Justin, including a stronger explanation for Justin entering the black hole, a deleted backstory of the relationship between Stark and Miller, additional scenes explaining what the gateway to hell / black hole is. I don't think I really needed that.
I don't need that.
Yeah. I kind of, they do the thing that they do in all, like the only way, by the way, to accurately and most scientifically best explain what a black hole is to get a piece of paper folded and put a pencil through it. That's the only way I can do that, because Interstellar does that as well.
Stranger Things, I think, does that.
Yeah. Miller finding a tooth floating in the event horizon. A longer version of the scene where Peters hallucinates that her son's mangled legs are covered in maggots. Now, let me stop you right there. Let me stop myself right there. That's when I would have quit the movie. I'm just... maggots, for me, I can't do it.
Gotcha.
I think like one day, I think maybe like 10 years ago or something, I was like scrolling down Facebook and some fucking, I don't know if it was an algorithm thing or if someone shared it. Someone like posted this video of like some back fucking water African country, and I'm sorry for being racist, but that's what it was. Of like this like person who was just sitting there and like he peels the skin of his kneecap up, and under it are like maggots just eating on the flesh. And it's never left my head. Like the idea of like maggots feasting on like human flesh, as you're just like watching it, is like nightmare fuel to me. Like I can't.
It's crazy. Is I think there's like a medical explanation for that. Don't they eat like it's the dead flesh?
They eat like the dead flesh, right? Yeah, but there still is like for me, it's like in my head, and I'm pretty sure like maggots are like born from like garbage, right? They're born from like filth.
Yeah, they're like fly larvae.
Right, exactly. So if you don't take your trash out, it's eventually going to get like maggots, and like that to me is like the first thing that's like pops into my head is like, here's this like creature that's like associated with like decay and like rot and like whatever inside your body, and I'm like, that is
I think that's it kicks in that like, because it's
a lizard brain thing.
Do what?
It's like a lizard brain thing. Like it's just like
it's the exact opposite of like survival and thriving. And it's like like you have it's this like caveman switch to seeing something rot is like to be that's to be like nothing.
A scene where Weir hallucinates that Justin turns into his wife Claire. I think we got enough like just like Weir and Claire scenes.
Yeah,
that was okay. A bloodier version of Weir's wife's suicide. I mean, sure. A longer version of the scene where Miller finds DJ's vivisected body with his intestines on the table.
Yeah, I could have used that. I feel like they set up that shot really good and then barely showed it, and I was like, oh well, that's a bummer. Like
a longer version of the Visions from Hell scene during Miller's final fight with Weir, with more shots of the Event Horizon's crew being tortured.
I'll
take it or leave it as well, because I feel like at that point in the movie's kind of like running out of steam a little bit.
And it's just enough. It's just enough.
Right. This is the part that I most would like to see. The blood orgy video was supposed to be longer.
Damn
I'm down for that shit.
Surfing the Red River, baby.
Hey, let's bring those flashlights back that you were talking about.
Take me to that blade rave. You know what I'm talking about? Like
right.
But no, I think all that sounds good. I think there's, I can take or leave most of that, except for like, I don't really need more of a reason for Justin to go in there. Because I mean, his kind of like, I'm sure he has something personal that was like drawing him to, but like the younger character being sucked into this like what is it? You know, like that
Right.
whole thing. That's very believable for me.
Apparently, like they use real life amputees for special effects scenes where
I love when they do that.
where the Event Horizon crew members are mutilated. And I'm just reading right here. And pornographic film actors were hired to make the sex and rape scenes more realistic and graphic.
Jesus Christ.
Holy shit.
That's pretty good Lord. Yeah, okay, maybe I see where they cut.
The studio's like, hey, 60 mil we gave you. Are you putting that into browsers?
Yeah, we have a 13-minute long scene of Lawrence Fishburne just getting like raped to death. Like, we got to cut that out. He's like, fine. Like that's the hill he like gave up on.
Couple things I need to run through here, right? So apparently we were supposed to get a moon colony on the like about 11 years ago, right?
Yeah, like
2015.
Ambitious.
Where's that shit, NASA? What have you been doing?
Yeah, I mean, hell, there's a good chunk where we didn't even go to space. That's crazy.
Right. That fucking wild moment of like, we're kind of like I think at that point he's on the Lewis and Clark, and like he kind of looks up at that shrine of his wife, and there's just so many photos of his wife.
Mm-hmm.
Like, did you clock that? How many, dude?
Yeah,
it's at that point it's creepy, man. Like you gotta talk to someone weird. You gotta talk to someone, man.
I think that it makes sense once you actually see it, like you know the movie's coming from. It's like, oh, okay, cool, I can kind of see that. But at first, you just kind of chalk it up to like, oh, this is someone who's on a long distance, a job thing. Like, they just miss their wife a lot. Like, okay, yeah, but looking at it, it's got to be at least 17 like pictures, and which okay, cool. Like, miss your wife, like that's fine, but having 20 something different pictures is like,
pull it back.
Or is this the thing where he's like, all right, I'm going to be gone for like 7 years, so I better put up a shit ton of pictures so she thinks I'm not cheating on her. Like, or 6 months, you get one picture.
Or it's like one of those, or it was like purposeful. Like, let's put all these photos of Weir's wife on this shrine, so we give like credibility to the fact that like Weir would lose his mind over the suicide of his wife, right? Like that's how.
Yes, but I will also, to be fair, I thought that was going to play into Weir's goals a little bit more. Like, it's really just kind of like kindling on the fire for him just being a crazy fuck. And like basically, if his wife was probably still alive, yeah, he probably wouldn't have done this, but it's the fact that she dies that like it leads, grief leads people to do some like crazy shit if they can try to bring somebody back, So
what are Weir's goals though? Right? Like, is it does he lose his mind because of his wife, or because Miller wants to destroy his life's work?
I think it's a little bit of column A, a little bit of column B. Right. But I think there's something, because he knows, like, if we survive all of this, they're not going to rebuild this engine. Like, once the report comes back and we all get back to Earth, like, they're not going to want to rebuild this thing. But at the same time, I think that it's definitely one of those, a bit of like Frankenstein's monster, where he gets kind of like, my work, like running around in a lab coat, and being worried about, the people destroying his inventions and stuff. But I think when you take a mind like that can create something like that grav drive, and then they lose like the most important person, I think that, the whatever we want to call the world, the demon plane, whatever, it really starts to work its magic on the mom astronaut. I can't remember what exactly her title or her name is, but she's the one that they really start chipping away at first, because we've seen Peters. Thank you. Yeah. The movie really takes its time chipping away at Peters first, and it makes sense because we've seen her son. We know he's sick. Like, he's one of the only ones besides Weir that we see any kind of like backstory for. So I think the film does a good job of setting that up and kind of chipping away at her like as a character, and it showing you how this entity can trick you into doing some things that you normally wouldn't do. I mean, it literally makes her kill herself, you know?
Yeah.
So I think they do a good job of setting that up with Peters, honestly, almost a little bit more so than they do Weir, because Weir, we just keep having these like flashbacks of stuff. But I wish there was a little bit more of like, is he really wanting to do this, or is this like, is he being kind of baited along a path, you know?
Right, I'm with you. The designation for the top secret mission that they're embarking on is Code Black. And all I hear is like Lenny in my head, in my head, being like, "Black? That's the worst color there is."
What the hell is that from?
Come on, dude. It's a Simpsons movie. It's Lenny from the Simpsons being like, "Black?
Oh,
It's the worst color there." God damn it! You know what? I'm going to cut this out of the podcast. Yeah, you're supposed to be like the Simpsons aficionado, and you're just like, oh, just
yeah, the TV show, not the movie. The movie kind of the movie's
great. The movie is great. Okay,
it's not bad. I don't hate it.
Love them.
Actually, and speak of the devil, I think Sam Neill was in The Simpsons. I forgot about that.
Yes, he was.
He's in a really good episode now that I remember. But I can see like why this film kind of got like the cult status that it did. I was super duper surprised to hear that there was not like a animated cartoon prequel, like adult prequel, you know.
Well, strap yourself in.
Oh, okay. There's a comic book, right?
Yes, there's a comic book, and they've been trying to get a TV show off the ground for a while. Adam Wingard, who did the last couple of like Godzilla movies,
VHS too, right?
Yes, he's a horror guy as well. He says it's definitely the last update was March 2024, so I don't really have much confidence in this. He said it's definitely in the works. I've just been in Godzilla land for so long. I wouldn't say there's a definitive traction in terms of it moving forward, but we have a fucking amazing script. He used the word fucking amazing. Once this movie's over, it's just about refocusing my attention towards getting that set up. So there you go.
Cool. Nice. No, I'm all game for that. I definitely think that this is a great idea.
VHS. He did the Blair Witch movie.
Oh, okay, never mind. I thought he was in the VHS movie with the guy that had the eye, and he cuts that out of his eye. Maybe I'm thinking of a different director. Anyways, I think this would be perfect for a TV show.
Yeah, some kind of like revitalization here would be amazing. I think, like an update. This movie it could for sure use an update. Sam Neill does wonder like so well. Like, you know, like as I said, like with that Jurassic Park moment where he kind of stands up from the Jeep, but like also in this when they arrive at the event horizon and he does there she is. Like, you know, like he does that shit so well, dude, man. Like, goddamn. Like I said, we're doing a bit of Aliens here as well. Like, you know, not just the first one, but also the sequel, where the crew of in this movie, the crew of the Lewis and Clark are underestimating the scientist / officer with pre-existing knowledge of the event horizon or the gravity, the gravity accelerator, or whatever the fuck it's called. Like, this is such a trope that like science fiction movies have all the time. Is like, here's this like crack team of like rescue specialists or operations people, but they're going to absolutely ignore Sigourney Weaver's, you know, like like warnings of like, holy shit, please stay away from, you know, LV-426. But yeah.
No, absolutely. And I'm sorry, I have been googling Adam Wingard. Yeah, it's in VHS 2. The segment's called Phase 1 Clinical Trials, where I think he directs it and he's in it. It's a pretty good segment. It's not bad. But I remember that. I was like, oh yeah, he has like that fake eye that's like recording everything. But no, yeah, the feeling of this I like the camaraderie and the cockiness of like the crew. I feel like that's something you see in like Aliens and like Halo. Like there's a lot of that kind of like feeling. But it's so funny because like in Aliens, when they get down to the surface, like they are pretty, once they realize what they're messing with, they do get kind of like locked and loaded and they start fucking those Xenomorphs up. This one is just like they're all absolutely at the mercy of this, like, I want to wear your teeth, like kind of shit. And it's Eldritch horror. It's H.P. Lovecraft type stuff. It is like the unknowable, awful thing. And I think that the movie does a really good job of setting that up. And having that, like, yes, you have that like kind of like you said, like, were you saying like a lot of movies do like the whole ragtag crew thing, and this one it's like, oh, they just get their shit like, ripped apart?
No, I was saying if you weren't fucking googling VHS 2, I was saying that we always have this crew of like spec ops people or military operatives, and we're just like kind of like gung ho, and we're ignoring the specialized knowledge of like the science officer or like the person who has like actually been in the situation like Ripley has, right. Or it's such a trope of like 80s/90s movies.
No, yeah, absolutely. And I think one of the things I like about the spin on this is that in those, like, there's usually some kind of like, they're able to put up like a pretty good fight. And in this, it's like, how do you even fight? It's like trying to fight smoke, like the thing just like will show up as a man on fire who can shoot flames from his hands, or like a little kid with maggot legs. Like, how do you fight something like that?
I thought you said little kid with MAGA legs, and I was like, what does that look like? Legs that vote for Trump? Dude, yeah. Really interestingly, as you said, that there was a comic book last year, Event Horizon Dark Descent, published by IDW. The series implied that the demonic entity behind the incident of Event Horizon, and hold on to your hats, is named Payman.
Payman. That's cool. From Hereditary.
From fucking Hereditary, dude. So my man Alex Wolff just fucking shit up.
I like the idea that these are all set in the same universe. That'd be great.
Dude, that'd be fucking funny, man. Like here's fucking Tony Collette up in this treehouse, and somewhere like millions of miles away, Sam Neill's fucking shit up on a
He's ship. Just slamming his head over and over again into the side of the ship.
Oh, dude, he's got like a fucking, what is it, piano wire, and he's just sawing his head off. Is that it? Was it piano wire? Or was it an actual saw? I can't remember. Like when
I think it had some kind of wire or something like that. Like, oh man, talking about a movie I never saw again. I don't know. Did we ever cover that? Have we covered that?
No, we didn't. We should. I also really like Midsommar.
Never seen that. I need to watch that.
Incredible.
That's on actually my watch list, like physically written down, like watch list.
Yeah. Solid. The dark is coming. Right, like immediately, like pants shitting moment is like when you're being told that something's coming, and the fact that it's called the dark is just like, all right, dude.
Yeah, well, and it's this it's the never it's a lot of like where the Doom games take place, like that kind of feeling of just this like eternal torment and like people are like, oh, you're talking about hell, and it's like, this is like, hell is like, oh, you do manual labor and it's hot, I think that's what people have in mind when they think of like hell, and it's like this makes hell look like purgatory, where it's this eternal. Have you ever seen the second Hellraiser? I know you've seen the first one.
No, I haven't.
The second one gets a lot more into like the lore, and they go like to the dimension. It's called like the Labyrinth, and it's just this insane, like what the fuck created all of this and yada yada. But I love that feeling of that kind of it's evil, but it's like perverse. It's dirty. It's a perverted. It feels like perverted old man like levels of evil, because there's this sexual element to it that is really apparent in Hellraiser. Absolutely. I mean, that's the whole reason, that's the whole reason she's able to lure those men back to the house. And I think there's something like, even if it's very subtle and kind of in the undertone, there's this like naughty erotic kind of feeling to Event Horizon that's like, if you get a boner from this, you should probably talk to somebody. But at the same time, like, there is this I don't know how to describe it, a very, like you said, the fact they had to ask him to tone down because I never even thought about like the sexual assault rape part of it until I was like, oh shit, yeah, I guess some of those things, I don't think they're going to draw the line at like, okay, well, hey, they didn't consent. Like, they're not going to really draw the fucking line at that. So it adds a whole other element when you kind of think about it from that way. And I love what Lawrence Fishburne says later, where or I can't remember if it's Lawrence Fishburne or the pilot, but he's like, oh, like, we're blowing ourselves up. Like, I'm not going to go to wherever the last crew went. I'm not fucking going there. Like, I'll die first.
I love that Miller, like, pretty much as soon as he's made aware of like the video, he's just like, all right, well, we're gonna scuttle this thing. Like, it's time for us to get going.
Right. Right.
Interestingly, okay, so what's your favorite depiction of hell in movies? If you had to.
From Spawn. No, I'm just kidding.
Fucking John Leguizamo was the little fucking clown, the fat clown.
Yeah. I don't know. That'd be a tough one to answer. I mean, really, I think I've seen it more in like TV shows and stuff like that than I have in movies.
Give it to us. What do you got?
I don't know. I do love the Futurama hell. That one's pretty funny. I like hell in Futurama. That one's pretty good. The Simpsons, obviously, because that's what put it into my head. Dude. It's like him getting force fed the donuts,
and he's just asking for more, dude. And like the devil's just like, the fuck.
Yeah. Well, and I like that it's also not so much like what is a physical depiction of hell is like, something like The Devil's Advocate with Keanu Reeves. Like, I feel like the latter half of that movie, he is 100% in like his own kind of personal hell. So I like those kind of like American Psycho.
The metaphorical hell. Yeah.
Yes, that's so much scarier to me than just like, what do you do in hell all day? Is there just because whenever they cut to it, it's just people in rags and there's fire around and they're like, like, what do you do all day? Because it just seems like there's a demon with a pitchfork. Because I was like, like, is that what you do for 12 hours?
I do like the metaphorical depiction of hell, as you said.
Mm-hmm.
I think The Devil's Advocate is a god awful movie. I just absolutely terrible.
It's charming.
We were so close to covering that movie. You actually said, let's cover The Devil's Advocate, and I bought it and I watched it, and I'm like, I'm not covering that movie, man. I'm sorry.
It's not that bad.
I need to use my veto powers, dude. It was so bad. I really enjoy, as much as I do love the metaphorical depiction of hell, I really enjoy the all-out, let's fucking go for it version of hell that Constantine does.
Oh, yeah. That one's very good as well.
Yeah.
Man, I love that. We saw that in theaters. I'll never forget, love Constantine.
Yeah. Constantine's great. Interestingly, and this is not a spoiler, there is a depiction of hell in the Odyssey, and it is haunting, like really haunting. Like they call it Hades in the movie because of Greece, but
sure.
Really, really cool depiction of hell. Like they shot it in like Iceland, and it's like all this like black sand, like through like fog, and yeah, it's sick, man. Like Christopher Nolan guy, he can make a fucking movie. Okay, so the next thing I kind of wanted to talk about was when Weir is in the vents made out of like microchips, which is awesome, by the way. Like I love the way they've designed that vent. They do the incredible like Jaws / Vertigo shot when they do the pull in, and I'm like, damn, Paul fucking W.S. Anderson, I didn't know you had that in you.
No, yeah, I think but one thing, you know, you can knock this movie for a few things, but I think that the shot composition and how they set things up in this, because you have such a beautiful canvas to, you know, if you think about this movie, it takes place on two ships. That's basically it.
Yeah.
You know, but I mean, those two ships are so fucking detailed. Like that's probably, I read something where I think like a third of their budget went into one shot of the movie. Like, and even though this thing only takes place in two kind of areas, like I can't imagine what it costs to put those two ships together, like that long ass corridor that they blow up. Oh my god. Yeah, the shot where Sam Neill stares out of a window, then pulls back to reveal he's on the deck of a space station orbiting Earth, took the special effects team 10 weeks to achieve. It lasts 45 seconds and took nearly a third of the film's visual budget because it was filmed using separate scale models. That's fucking insane. It took them 20 times of redoing it before he was satisfied with it. I'm like, that's fucking crazy. But I think that the world, I think one of the best things you can say about like the atmosphere of this world is how well lived in it feels. It has that kind of like Blade Runner alien used up space kind of feeling.
Yeah.
And like the shot of, I don't think it's Miller. They're lowering the two of them down when they first kind of go into the ship, and he's standing above them as they're going down on the platform. And I'm like, God, that looks so good, dude. And there's a touch of like 2001: A Space Odyssey in some areas where it's like, oh my God, like this is visually like when the three of them are descending in that gold room and their boots, like they come into frame with their boots maglocking. I was like, that's so fucking dope, dude.
I do also just really, I think I completely agree with everything you just said. I do also just want to shout out that, like we are covering this movie because of Sam Neill, but holy fuck, man, Lawrence Fishburne brings it in this movie as well. Like,
yeah,
he's coming off of Boys in the Hood a couple years before this, which is also another movie that we should cover soon. I fucking love Boys in the Hood. And I think he was nominated, or I think the travesty was that he was not nominated for that movie.
Really?
And he's like absolutely incredible in that fucking movie. And I think he just keeps giving it. I think he just keeps giving these like incredibly sort of like straight-faced and stoic performances, but they have such a commanding sort of like, you know, undercurrent about them. Like, you know, he'll essentially be doing this like 2 years later on the fucking bridge of the Nebuchadnezzar in fucking The Matrix, you know? Like he's kind of almost playing the same character, you know, albeit like Morpheus, there's a lot more going on with Morpheus than there is with Miller, but he's still that leader, sort of like stoic leader character. So he'll be bringing that in Matrix, like what, 2 years after this movie?
Yeah, 2 years. And he's got this great no nonsense kind of, you know, kind of feel to him where, you know, you have the feeling from this crew that along with this captain, like they could do this in their sleep, you know?
Right.
And I feel like a lot of his character kind of hinges on that. But he's also not without, you know, he's not like a perfect leader, and he has kind of his own sins to kind of deal with and stuff. So I think they do a really good job with, I mean, Sam Neill gets to have the fun later on where he's like, well, yeah, but a lot of the movie kind of hinges on Lawrence Fishburne because he becomes your proxy, you know, in the kind of the later part of the movie. We kind of funnel down to him in the last couple of survivors.
There is a moment that made me laugh of like Lawrence Fishburne, but and it's not Lawrence Fishburne, it's more the editing. When Justin's in like the fucking chamber and like Fishburne's like coming to save him, he's like, Justin and I'm just like, God damn, dude, like they did my boy dirty with that shit. Like they kind of like lowered the volume on him like at like a comical level. Like it's just like Justin.
Sounds like a jilted lover.
Right, exactly. It's almost like Mendoza. See, that one you got.
Mendoza. No, I think he does a really good job. He carries it all the way home. He gets the sacrificial, touchdown play. Because I was like, I don't know how this ends. I wouldn't be surprised if it's like when that black hole kicks up at the end. I was like, oh, it's gonna suck them into it, and they're gonna end up going anyway. So I was like, that would be some shit to like see this whole movie, and they're like think they're getting away, and all of a sudden it just starts pulling them back down the drain. I'm like, I would kind of love that, but
I kind of like how it ends though. Like I know we're kind of like all over the place. We're talking about the ending right now, but like I like that we kind of survive the event horizon, but then there is like that sort of like ongoing trauma that these guys will always have.
You have to live with this.
You're right. Yeah, I don't know. Like that to me is like that's one of my favorite endings in like any horror movie is like when we get like the protagonist just kind of being like all fucked up because of like the events they've been subjected to.
100%. I think there's something weird. I don't know. Watching the ending, it was fucking weird. Like, especially when that guy is like, "I need a sedative over." It was just like, what is this? Like, this is so fucking weird.
It might have been the edit. It might have been the edit.
Yeah. Well, and the ending, it ends like not rather abruptly, but I just felt I was like, this feels like there's supposed to be one more scene at the end of this. But I think that it's a fun movie. I can totally see why it grew a cult following. Apparently it's big with like the Warhammer 40K fans. They've like adopted it as
prologue. Unofficial sort of like prequel. That's what people have kind of like sort of like adopted it as.
Well, and what's insane about this movie is like obviously, it's a cult classic and a kind of, but like, you see a lot of cult classics like Tremors, like Tremors, definitely a more successful movie and more popular movie than this. But the first one comes out, it's a hit. They make the second one and they end up making like 6 more Tremors movies that are all straight home to, straight to video kind of stuff. But this has had no movement. The IP of Event Horizon has had no movement. Like there hasn't been like a shitty sequel made 4 years later on like the Sci-Fi Channel. There hasn't been not until 2025 do they actually do this comic book called Dark Descent. And I guess in 2026 a comic book sequel series is set to begin being published. So I guess this year they're doing a sequel, and the first one was like a comic book prequel, which is that's fine. Like that's where a lot of like I love the
I'm not writing that shit.
The anthology horror movie Trick or Treat, like they put that straight to like so some of these films get a second life with their hardcore fans on like Trick or Treat or comic books and stuff. But the fact that like nothing has come of this IP, I mean, it's not like it's the most popular thing in the world, but this definitely should have had, I mean, maybe a decent sequel and then a third like animated, adult animated kind of thing later on, like the Animatrix or something. I could absolutely see for this. I'm kind of surprised this didn't get anything after this. I mean, I know it lost some money, but it's definitely, I've heard enough about it for the last 30 fucking years. I'm kind of surprised.
Well, Wingard said that there is a script floating around out there. So maybe it could just be that like, it's bounced between
development hell.
Yeah, development hell. And maybe it's just too expensive for a studio to finance. Like, they just don't want to be like, I don't know if we should put another. Okay, because like 60 million in today's money is basically like 120.
Yeah, yeah.
So like that's a lot of money for like something that might bomb because the first one did as well. Because and I think as good of a following this has, critically and commercially, this movie did awful. So I just don't think the studio is gonna,
Well, and I think it's one of those, because you get those movies that come out and they didn't do great at the box office, and then 10, 20, 30 years later, it's reevaluated and they're like, bro, this is a really good movie. What the fuck? I feel like a movie like this, kind of had that happen. But the problem is that it's like, it just makes you feel so dirty, kind of watching it. It's
I want to have a shower after. Yeah.
Yes, and like it's different when I'm playing it in like a game, but watching it in a movie is just like, yeah, I'm gonna put on Dumb and Dumber after this. Like, I need a palate cleanser, you know. But no, I really enjoy. Is there anything else you want to get into?
Two more quick things before we do head out of here, right? We didn't talk about Jason Isaacs, who is
DJ,
yeah, Lucius, Lucius
trauma, and they all laugh at him.
Right. I think he gets a great moment when he kind of like fesses up to Miller, and he's just like, "Hey, so I went back and watched the old video, and I could make out some more words. It wasn't, liberate me. It was liberate tutte me ex inferis, which translates to save yourself from hell."
Yeah.
Which is like a fucking pen-shitting moment. But like, I think, any other actor who doesn't really sort of have the seriousness that Jason Isaacs brings to this movie, like that moment could have really been sort of like squandered, and I think they did a great job with that. It's just like that comes as such a perfect sort of like ramping up moment. It's just like, oh shit. And the other thing I wanted to mention is like I really enjoyed in this movie that everyone kind of does everything that their training and logic tells them to. Like everyone kind of like reacts somewhat realistically based on like how they're trained and like your Captain America things.
Yeah, my poster, my thing just fell off the wall. I gotta reset it.
You just go through a fucking wormhole yourself. But I was just saying, man. Like, I think like I really, really dug the way that like people reacted in this movie. Like, it's not really something you get in like a late 90s horror movie.
No, for sure. Well, and I think it just adds more to that kind of crew that feels like at the beginning of like Aliens, they feel so cocky and then they get really like ripped to shreds. But this kind of group feels like, yeah, they're not really so much cocky, but they really, really know their shit. So it kind of ends up feeling a lot more like lived in, which I liked a lot. This crew is definitely a very, very tight crew. And the whole thing with, is it Jason Isaacs? That's his name, right?
Uh-huh. Yep.
Jason Isaacs. I thought for sure that it was going to be like an Ash like thing, like he was going to be a fucking robot. Because like watching it, I'm like, oh, if he's like a Lance Henriksen Bishop like character, that would not surprise me at all. But because he's just got that flat kind of like
delivery.
I don't know. Yeah, no smiles, nothing like that. But I do like him a lot.
Dude, when he rocks up and shit, like he's so good. Like he's great in like Black Hawk Down as well. Like he rocks up, in like really random shit. But there's like moments when he just like honestly like knocks it out of the park. Like Black Hawk Down, dude, he's doing like a southern accent. And like he's in like, I think he was in like the latest season of The White Lotus. Which he was also great in as well. Yeah, he's outside of his work in Harry Potter, like he's done some shit, dude.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, I mean, I knew him from a couple things before he was in Harry Potter, but I mean, that's his like Orlando Bloom Legolas. He's never gonna get. He's never gonna let that go.
Right.
But no, I had a lot of fun talking about this. This is a good movie. Kind of dip our toes back into the main feed, and I had a lot of fun chatting about it because I think that there's a lot more room for movies like this that kind of don't get talked about, and I understand why people like they're not some people's like favorite kind of film because it's just such a fucking kind of like downer afterwards.
Yeah.
It's not like Requiem for a Dream kind of downer. But it's definitely one of those like, oh, Jesus Christ.
No, it's not a movie you throw on for fun,
Right. It's one of those things where you watch it every now and then after you watch it, you're like, okay, like that's cool, but I don't really want to watch this for a long time. And then once you kind of start getting the hankering, you'll come back to it.
Absolutely.
but no, this was a lot of fun to talk about. We're glad to be back on the main feed. We hope you guys are down for the ride and enjoying it. As always, leave us a review. Let us know how we're doing. Come and check out the Discord. You can find everything for patreon.com/midnight double feature for the green room. It's $5 a month. Get a bunch of more episodes on there. What else you want to say before we get out of here, buddy?
Well, one thing I forgot to mention at the beginning, because I'm a terrible host, is that you can find the recording of this episode on YouTube. So you can watch us talking about it in video format. I'm not sure why you would want to do that, but we're there. Our ugly mugs are there on YouTube. You can just search us, Midnight Double Feature.
Hell yeah. We hope you guys enjoyed the episode. Thank you so much for listening. We'll catch you on the next one. Ta-ta.